Hello and welcome to Crypto News. Today is the 31st of January 2025 and the top crypto news is as follows. We will start today with our countries and go to El Salvador, which is making modifications requested by IMF. Let me remind you at this point that El Salvador had signed a contract with IMF to gradually receive $1.4 billion. As part of the agreement, IMF asked El Salvador to implement several changes related to crypto. Specifically, various stores such as cafes and supermarkets, for example, will no longer be obligated to accept Bitcoin for transactions. This will now be voluntary for those who choose to offer the service. In addition, El Salvador agreed to stop accepting payments in cryptocurrencies and to discontinue the Chivo wallet, which is a state-run cryptocurrency wallet. So as you can see, IMF is slowly pushing El Salvador to move away from Bitcoin. From El Salvador, we turn once again to the United States, specifically Illinois, which is another state considering Bitcoin as a reserve asset. According to the proposed bill, if approved, any Bitcoin purchased by the state will be held for at least 5 years before it can be sold or otherwise utilized. Next, we move on to the president of the European Central Bank, who remains convinced that Bitcoin will never become a reserve asset for the central bank. In the bill that I will link below in the description, it is stated that for Bitcoin to qualify as a reserve asset, it must first be liquid and secure. The Bitcoin network, in fact, is the most secure financial network humanity has ever built and has never been hacked. It has never been hacked, aside from 2 instances in its first 3 years of existence, when vulnerabilities were identified and later resolved. Some have argued that Bitcoin should not be used for illegal activities, such as drug trafficking or child pornography. However, the same could be said about any medium of exchange. If tomorrow we all started using stones instead of euros, criminals would still find a way to use them for illicit transactions. This does not mean that the medium of exchange itself is at fault. As long as Bitcoin can back reserves, it remains a viable asset. On that note, the National Bank of the Czech Republic, which we had not discussed in the previous episode of Crypto News, has already proposed studying Bitcoin as a key asset for the bank, an indication that Europe is showing interest in Bitcoin. Moving on to ETFs, let's talk about Grayscale. To begin with, Grayscale is making its usual strategic moves. It previously had an XRP trust, and now it aims to convert this XRP trust into a spot XRP ETF. For this reason, it has submitted a request to the SEC. Also, let's say that Grayscale has already issued an ETF related to miners in the crypto market. Specifically, it includes 5 major miners, with the 2 largest being Mara, holding 16% of the ETF, and Riot, holding 11%. By investing in this ETF, you essentially gain exposure to 5 different crypto miners. From Grayscale, we move to Bitwise, which has received final approval from the SEC and will announce the purchase of a Bitcoin and Ethereum ETF, both of which are spot ETFs. This is very good news, as we now have 2 more ETFs to absorb capital and direct it into Bitcoin and Ethereum. Moving on from ETFs, we turn to Trump's meme coin. Various websites that sell the president's merchandise now accept Trump's currency as payment for items like hats and Trump t-shirts. This is even better news for Solana, as payments using Trump's currency are processed through Solana Pay, a free payment framework based on the Solana network. Beyond this, thanks to Trump's currency, stablecoins on Solana have increased by 73%, all due to the US president's cryptocurrency. As you can see, Trump's currency has significantly benefited the Solana network. Speaking of Solana, let's discuss GTA 6, one of the most anticipated games of 2025 or 2026, though the exact release date is unknown. As we've seen in previous crypto news updates, many scam coins have been issued in connection with the game, meaning fraudulent actors have launched a so-called GTA coin on Solana. It's important to clarify that the video game will not have its own cryptocurrency, as Rockstar has officially stated that it is not involved with crypto at this time. While the game may have some indirect connection to crypto, that does not mean it will feature an official in-game currency. Moving on from GTA 6, we turn to the UFC, whose official Instagram account was recently hacked. The hacker issued a 100% fake meme coin on Solana, falsely presenting it as the UFC's official cryptocurrency. From Solana, we move on the Bitcoin network. We now have Odin.fun, which functions similarly to Pump.fun on Solana, making it easy to create meme coins on Bitcoin, just as it is on Solana. This tool is also closely related to Bitcoin runes, meaning those who use runes will not need to modify their protocols. Below in the description, I will include a video from the founder of this platform explaining more details about the product. For our final Bitcoin-related news, we turn to Tether. USDT will soon be integrated into the the Bitcoin Lightning Network, which will increase both its usage and transaction volume. This expansion aligns with what a strong stablecoin should do. Speaking of Tether, let's also look at its position in Europe. So far, no significant developments have been reported. Tether has expressed disappointment regarding regulatory actions taken by exchanges such as Crypto.com and Coinbase, but there has been no clear indication of when stablecoin legislation will be finalized in Europe. Finally, let's check in on the crypto market. Bitcoin is currently standing at $104,000, and we are waiting for the market's next moves. That wraps up the top news for crypto. Today is the 31st of January. I'd like to remind you that the content you just watched is created for educational purposes only and should not be considered as investment advice, but rather as investment opinion. Please subscribe to the channel, leave a like, and feel free to comment. Take care, everyone, and have a good day.